Hello guys, welcome back. Now let's discuss the code about of the deletion operation in the linked list. Let's code the first deletion. Let's code the deletion at the beginning first. So we will define the function deletion at begin. Okay. Now and we will have the parameter of head. Okay. Now what we will do? First of all, we will check whether the head is null or not. If head is null, it means that we have the free linked list. So deletion at the beginning function will not be maintained because our linked list is empty. So we will simply return from the list. Otherwise, what we can do is we have to take another variable. Let's say temp. We will point which will be point to the head, and we will move the head to the next of head, and then we will uh, set the next of temp as null, and then we will free the temp because we have to free the memory as well as we discuss here when we are delete from the beginning. So we will maintain a pointer to the head previous head because we have to delete the memory, and to delete the memory we have to have some address to that element. Okay, so as we discuss here, so we have performed the same thing here. Okay, so deletion at the begin function is done, and now we can check the deletion at the beginning simply uh, by calling the deletion at the begin function. We will pass the head, and we can simply run our code. We will see that last element that was inserted was 5, which was at the first position, that is at the beginning. So till here, 5 was the first element in the linked list. When we will call the deletion at the beginning, so 5 is deleted. Now second element will be from the 10, 20, 30. Okay, so this function is working fine. Now let's define the deletion function at the end. So deletion at the end, in deletion at the end we will have the head of the linked list. Okay, and here also we will check whether head is null or not. If head is null, then we can't perform the function, we will simply return. Otherwise, we have to maintain the two pointer. First pointer will be the previous, which will be initially null, and the second pointer will be the current, which will be point to the head. And we will have the while loop, and we will run the while loop while next of the current is not null. Okay, so when the current will be reached to the end element or the last element, then this loop will be terminated. And in while loop, what we will do, we will set the previous to the current and current to the next of current. Okay, so at last, uh, we can have the two condition here. See, let's say we have the linked list of the only one element, that is 1 current, and it is head. And now we perform the deletion at end function. So in our algorithm, our we will first have the current pointer which will point to the head, and previous pointer which is null initially. So when we will go into the while loop, so in our while loop we have the condition next of the current is not is equal to null. So current next of the current is null because we have only the one element. So while loop condition is failed, and after the while condition, what we are doing is we are setting next of previous is equal to null. So in this case, we have previous is equal to null, is equals to the null. So we have to check the condition here. If previous is equals to null, Okay, if previous is equals to the null, it means that we have only the one element in the linked list and we have to delete that element only. So what we will do is we will set the head is equals to null because we have to delete we have only one element, and when we will delete that element, then our linked list will be empty and head will be the null. And what we current is initially null, so we will set the current to the next of the current is to the null, and we will free the memory of the current. See here, uh, what we are doing is we have only one element. So what we are doing is we will delete that element, and in now our head will be null, and okay, head will be one null. And what we are doing is we are setting next of current, that next of current to the null, and then we are deleting that memory. We are freeing the memory of the current. So this task is performed. Otherwise, if it is not so, if previous is not null, it means that we have more than one element. Then what we will do is we will simply set previous next of the previous is equals to the null, and will free the current pointer. Okay, so let's check this function. So we are calling deletion at end function and we are passing the head pointer. So at here we have what we are inserting the 40 at the end. So we can see 40 is our last element, and when we will delete this element, then we will have uh, 50 50 would be the last element after deleting 40. So when we will run the code, we will see 50 is our last element. Okay, so this function is also working fine. Now let's discuss the deletion at given position. So how we will and write the code of deletion at given position. So we will define the function deletion at uh, position. So we have to ask the user to give the position and as well as head of the linked list. So we will have the head of the linked list. Okay, and here also we will check if head is equals to null, then we can't do anything. It means our linked list is empty and we will simply return from here. Otherwise we will maintain the two pointer. One is previous, which will be initially null, and the second pointer is current, and which will be initially pointing to the head. And we will also have the one variable is count, which will count the number of elements we have traversed so far. Okay, and we will have the while condition. While current of next of the current is not null, current of next is not null, and count is smaller than position. So what we will do is we will set previous is equals to the current, and we will move the current to the next of the current, and we will increment the count. And when we will exit it from the while loop, then here also we will have the conditions. So what will be the conditions? The in the deletion at the beginning, we can have the condition of, let's say we have only the one element. Let's say we have only the one element, and okay, we have only the one element. It is head, and current is also equal to the head, and previous is equal to the null. Okay, and now we have only one element, and we pass the position is equal to, let's say, 2. So we have not we know we don't have the second element, but we pass the position as 2 and the head pointer. So in the while condition, this in the while condition we have the two condition. One is one is a next of current is not equal to null, and other is count is smaller than position. So count of next is not equal to null, so this condition will be false. So we will not enter into the we will not enter into the while loop. Then we will exit it from the while loop, and at last we have to check whether if previous is equals to the null. Okay, if previous is equals to the null, then what we can do is if previous is equal to null, it means that we do not traverse the current pointer to any of the uh, uh, that we didn't move the current pointer. Okay, so we can have the two condition here. Either if position can be 1, we can give the position is equals to 1. If position is equals to 1, then we can, this is the case, uh, we have one element and we given the position of that element to delete it. So we can simply do head is equals to head of next of head, which will be null because next of head is null, so it will be nothing but null. So head will be null, and we what we can do is we can do free or free current. So current now will be free. Otherwise, else condition can be, let's say position is something, let's say 2. We have only one element, but we given the position greater than the number of element in the linked list. So here also we can do the same thing. Either we can print the statement that the position incorrect position. Okay, and we can simply return yeah, very simply return yeah, this can be done. Okay, otherwise what can be the other condition is other condition can be uh, let's say we have elements in the linked list like this. Okay, we have only 4 elements and we have given the position is equals to, let's say 6. Here also we have given the position greater than the number of element in the linked list, but the previous will be not null here because initially previous will be null. Previous will be the null initially, and current will be equals to the head. Now current will be moved to the current next element, and previous will be moved to the previous current. Now okay, now current will be moved here, and previous will be moved here. Here also current of next is not null, so current will be moved here, and previous will be null, move here. Now current next of current is null. So again we will exit from the while loop, and then but we didn't uh, go to the position is equal to 6 because we have only the 4 element. We will exit from the while loop. Then again we have to check else if uh, and how we are counting the position, we are maintaining the count variable. So we have to check if count is equals to position. Count is not equals to the position. If count is not equals to the position, then it simply means that position value is incorrect. So we can simply print the here incorrect position. Okay, otherwise what we can do is otherwise we will have this condition that we discussed in the previous lecture. So here also we will do the same thing. What we will do, we will check if, okay, if previous is equals to the null, then here are the here we have the two condition. If position equals to the 1, it means, okay, position is equals to 1, it means that we want to delete first element only. So what we will do is we will move head to next that it will be null, and then we will move free the current pointer. Okay, otherwise we will see out incorrect, yeah, invalid or invalid position. Okay, otherwise it can happen that we didn't reach to the desired position. So we will check if count is not equal to the position. Then here also we will print the same statement, that is invalid position. Okay, otherwise what we will do, we will simply say next of the previous will be next of current. Okay, and next of current will be null, and we will free the current. Okay, so this is the simple operations that we have done. So let's check the functionality. Delete at position, we will give, let's say we are deleting the first element. Okay, so we have the 5 at the beginning, so 5 should be the delete. 5 should be deleted, so we can see 5 is deleted. Now we have, let's say we want to delete the 40 at the end, so 40 will be present. We have the 6 element in the linked list, so we will delete the 6th element, 6 element which are present at the 6th position. So 40 should be, yeah, 40 is removed now. So let's say we want to remove the 5th element, then 50 should be removed. We can say 50 is removed. So all the functionality is uh, doing properly, or it's running properly. Okay, I hope that you understood the concept of the deletion in the linked list. uh, yeah, thank you.